Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video from Tabitha, and she really did a great explanation to it. And I am going to add a little to it. Why? Because some people think that it is all about them. If you don't take care of us, forget about it. You all are colonizers. You all are deciders. I hope you all saw the video Donald Trump posted on his page. I mean, like they are already about to turn the beach, Gaza to beachfront, because that was what the video is all about. Some people, I mean, that video will tell you a whole lot. Because some of you all think you are smart. No, you all are not smart. Black people came out for everybody. You all came out for yourselves, including Latinos, because I will never stop calling you people. Now, I hope you all are saying, like I keep saying, there are some things that will teach you lesson. That is, if you are willing and ready to learn. But if you are not ready to learn, the same thing that is going on right now may end up repeating itself. But there is something that I am very proud of. I am very proud that Black people took a stand on this particular one and they are standing on it. They are not going back. That is something that gladdens my heart, right? So for those that are going to meet up, you all will meet them up in the next coming years because they are no longer waiting for anybody. You are messed up. Stop calling Black women. Stop calling Black people to fix your mess. Go tackle your problems. Go meet your community. Sort your things out. Leave Black people out of it. Let's get into it.
Donald Trump just posted this weird ass AI generated video of his future vision of Gaza. And I'm sorry if I had to see this shit, so do you. It is so fucking weird. I don't even care about my language right now. I don't even care how I look right now. Y'all need to see this shit. What, I got beards? And Elon's here? On the beach with Netanyahu? I mean, tell me if I'm crazy, I guess, but that shit was so fucking weird. I need to go lie down.
I just saw the most disturbing video posted by the current president as to his plans and what he wants to do in the Middle East. It was sent to me, actually, the video, and I watched it, and I don't have words. I don't have words. I don't know how anyone could justify it or think it's funny. I don't have words. Not to mention, the richest man in the world has just said that anyone who doesn't agree with Doge, they only don't agree because they are parasites. He's referring to the poor and middle class in this country, because the poor and middle class are the ones speaking out against Doge and against the processes that Doge is trying to do and implement that will cut funding to a lot of, most of, all of the benefits that people need to live and survive. And he called those people who rely on Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP benefits, parasites. Yep. He was also leading the cabinet meeting, but no one seems to be frustrated with that. People are more upset at us when we call out oligarchy or say that's what oligarchy looks like. They're more upset at us because we're calling it out. And I don't think people fully understand the magnitude and gravity of what is happening.
Man, that was heinous. The 92% believed him when he said what he would do, but our Black voices fell on deaf ears. Yes, they did. Deaf arrogant, hateful, racist ears. And for those of you who need a reminder or who don't know what it is that she's talking about, here's the video.
Here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, #1.
Donald Trump posted that video to his social media accounts last night. It's up right now over on his Instagram page. And a lot of us tried to warn Palestinians, American Palestinians, specifically those who were most vocal out there in Dearborn, Michigan. We tried to warn them. We tried to tell them this was the plan. We tried to tell them that the best option from the two choices for president that we had was Kamala Harris. And black women, 92% of us, black men, 80% of them, we came together and rose up to vote for the betterment of all black and POC communities. We talked about it relentlessly, what Donald Trump's plans were. We told people, specifically the Palestinian community, the Muslim community, what Donald Trump's son, Jared Kushner, said in an interview. He said months before the election that Gaza was prime beachfront property and that his plan would be to move all of the people out and then rebuild Gaza. We talked about it relentlessly, repeatedly. We were trying to get people to hear our warnings because we know this racist system over here in the United States. We know the racist players involved. We know the colonized mind of the people in charge here in the United States. We know this oppressive, lying ass system. We know it. And we tried to warn people. And what they did, instead of heeding our warnings, instead of listening to us, they got louder. They overtalked us. They talked down to us. They disrespected us. They tried to dehumanize us. They went out to Kamala Harris rallies and they shouted at her and they protested her out on social media streets all across the different apps. They protested and talked about how both parties were the same. They called Kamala Harris a genocidal enabler. They call her the Holocaust genocider or something like that. They called us baby killers. They called us supporters of genocide because we were choosing to vote for Kamala Harris because we knew she was the better choice for black and brown people in this country across the board. They told us to keep Palestinian names out of our fucking mouths. They said black people were their colonizers. They told those people who were supporting Palestinians who had the watermelon in their bios, they told them, take the watermelon out of your bios. Meanwhile, other genocides were happening across the world, and they weren't speaking up about those black people that were being genocided. They had demands of Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris tried to meet those demands. She met with the uncommitted movement. She repeatedly called for a ceasefire in Gaza, and they still held her accountable for Joe Biden's wrongdoings and Joe Biden's policies. Hell, the policy of the United States in general. Every time Kamala Harris would meet a demand, they would move the goalpost. Yeah, but they required none of this from Donald Trump. They had no made-up names for Donald Trump. They weren't at Donald Trump's rallies. They weren't using social media to talk about Donald Trump. No, they had all of their ire was for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, who was the vice president and truly held no power. Yeah, they had their rallies where they rose up to punish Kamala Harris. Yeah, that was their words. We must punish her. And then they went on to say, you know, if you vote for Kamala Harris, don't be expected to be welcomed by my community. Vote for Jill Stein, vote for no one, or vote for Donald Trump. That's what they said. And everything that we have repeatedly tried to warn them about, well, yeah, let's watch the video again.
Tunnel is coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, #1.
And it's crickets coming from them. You don't hear them coming out with any jazzy, snazzy names for Donald Trump. You don't see them protesting outside of Mar-a-Lago or the White House, you know, in regards to what Donald Trump and his plans are for Gaza. You don't hear them on social media talking about Donald Trump and what his plans are for Gaza. You don't see them coming together to make some sort of plan. You know, they were all about the revolution. Yeah, I don't see any revolutioning happening. Oh, but they do have time to continue to talk shit about Kamala Harris. They do have time to continue to try to talk shit about content creators like myself. They do have time to try to dox Tory Greer. Yeah, that's what they have time for. All the time to talk about the Democrats, and the Democrats are not the one in power. Nobody's seeking for Jill Stein or Cornel West or any of those Arab leaders who were, you know, putting these protests together to punish her. Yeah, you don't hear anything coming from them. Yeah, all of those pro-Pe0ple supporters, yeah, they're silent now. Meanwhile, content creators like myself who have been standing true to calling out Republicans and Democrats and policies that they are bringing forth that are wrong for us as a community, yeah, we're still doing what it is that we do. Yeah. And when you say how heinous it is very heinous. We did not have to be here. It did not have to be this way. We knew how cruel this man can be. We knew it. We knew how cruel the MAGA nut base is. It did not have to be this way. We tried to stop it. And unfortunately, their anti-blackness, it won. Picture this. Sicily. I'm feeling so much better, and unfortunately, I'm feeling real goofy. Let me get serious. So back on November 5th, 2024, the Hispanic community, they came together to go into the voting booth to overwhelmingly vote for Donald Trump. And I don't want to hear about it wasn't the Mexican community. I don't want to hear it was the Cubans, it was the Venezuelans, it was Hispanics. Hispanics. Over 50% of Hispanic males went into the voting booth to vote for Donald Trump. Over 30% of Hispanic women went into the voting booth to vote for Donald Trump. Collectively, the Hispanic community went into the voting booth to vote for Donald Trump. All the while, Donald Trump was out on the campaign trail telling them exactly what his plans were. Under his administration, there will be mass bloody deportations. And again, just like we tried to use our voices and our platforms to warn the Muslims out in Dearborn, Palestinian Americans as a whole, we tried to warn them what Donald Trump's plans were for them. We tried to warn the Hispanic community of what Donald Trump's plans were for them. Donald Trump, while out on the campaign trail, told them that they were poisoning the blood of this country. People around Donald Trump said that Puerto Rico was a floating island of garbage. He said that the Hispanic community was taking black jobs. We know that was a lie, though. He said all of these heinous things, and they went into the voting booth to vote for Donald Trump. And after he gets into office, he starts implementing his plan, which was a part of Project 2025. The concentration camps that they are building out there in Guantanamo Bay, all of that was in Project 2025. The mass deportations, all of that was in Project 2025. And they ignored us when we tried to warn them. So yeah, ICE is going around the country using different tactics to find all of these people to deport them from the country. He does not care if you're here legally. He doesn't care. If you're Hispanic, you're going to get swept up. Yeah. And now Donald Trump is spitting in their faces as he's cruelly and inhumanely going around the country to round up Hispanics to deport them. He's also putting into place a plan where those immigrants outside of the country, if they have $5 million, they can buy their citizenship.
Be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot.
This is all I got from this video, and I am going to say this. The reality is that I love the fact that everything going on started on time, because if we had waited for so long, you always still claim right that, if nothing has happened and nothing taught you any lesson, right? So I love the fact that it is happening straight up in everybody's faces, and it hasn't been 2 months. It's 1 month plus, and the atmosphere has really been very rough. Now, I am going to say this to Hispanics and Palestinians, because both of you are also part of the problems. And when I say part of the problems, major problems. Now, I saw discussions going around about some pro-Palestinians, right? Still blaming Black people, telling Black people that even if Kamala Harris come out the next year, they still will not vote. That is to tell you how ignorant some people would rather complain till they die than doing the right thing. But they haven't, I am not wishing them bad. But more things are still going to unfold. Why? Because this man was never, ever quiet about what he was going to do. For anybody that said he didn't say it is because you were not listening, or because you do not care about politics. Well, he said all this, right? And for the Gaza, you all saw that he posted that on his own page. That is to tell you that it is really going to happen. You saw the beach front, you saw it. That is how he wants it, and it is going to happen. If it is, except it's not that man. Now, I am going to say this. I do not know everything, right? And the ones I do not know, I straight up, I go to the people that I learn from, right? When you cannot, as human beings, you cannot know everything. And no matter how smart you are, there will be people that are smarter than you. But are you willing to learn? If you're not willing, that is when the boat or the car is leaving you behind, because some people will still be left behind in some years to come. Why? Because what is going on now is not teaching them anything. That's why you see them running around instead of asking themselves, what are we going to do to save the situation? They are still running around blaming the same people that came out to vote for their own interests. They voted against their own interests. They think everything is all about fighting. No, black women or black people in general already left you people behind, and they are moving forward. Not until you all are ready. You can catch up. There is nothing wrong with catching up, but they are no longer waiting for anybody, and I love it for them. I am so proud of how they took this decision. They made the decision and they stood by it. Absolutely great. Right? So, what am I saying in essence? What I am saying is that you all caused so much problem for the main people in Gaza. Now, I do not see any of them coming out to protest. Come out, come and protest. See if they are not going to send your bots back home. And the videos in Michigan circulating, there you can see how they are disappointed with everything going on. But they are still saying that they do not regret their votes, but they are crying, right? That is how some people could really be very proud. When they say poor and proud, right? I don't want to be poor and proud because my helper might be the other side. And I really do have to ask you to help me. So I really do wish you people well. I am not wishing anybody any this thing, but you all are going to learn this lesson as long as it's going to last. That is something I know for sure. And I hope you all are gearing up because it is turn by turn. It will get to you, like some are getting to you people indirectly, but it will get to you people directly real soon. And now, what I am going to make this one, but yeah, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. Bye for now.